What comes to mind when you think of Switzerland? For me, the country that gave us Toblerone, punctuality with Swiss watches, Roger Federer, wealth, bankers, people who were fluent in multiple languages, and of course, the famous red flag with a white cross. But most of all, I think of a country with stunning landscapes. Lake Geneva comes to mind. Or how about the imposing Matterhorn? And who could forget the village of Lauterbrunnen where all the Instagrammers flock to? I went on a trip to Liechtenstein recently and decided to explore the very nearby area of Switzerland in the St. Gallen region for a couple of days. With zero expectations and the unknown, I was mesmerised by what I discovered. Join us as we uncover a stunning waterfall and we see landscapes that take your breath away. We find a monument built in Roman style and we marvel at this lesser known area of Switzerland, forming our own path, leaving footprints and great memories behind.
I've barely ate or drunk anything today, so in anticipation of where we're heading to, Switzerland, and knowing that it's supposed to be fairly expensive, we decided to stop off at the Italian supermarket and top up on supplies, so fingers crossed this should keep us going for the next day or so.
We had grand plans to explore the area around Lake Como. However, the heavens opened and we discovered it was also a national holiday in Italy. This was a recipe for us to scrap the plans and head on to Switzerland.
We've left Italy now. We are in Switzerland. First time I've been here. The weather's atrocious, so we're basically just pressing on to where we're staying for tonight. There's not much point really in terms of getting out of the car and having a look because it's absolutely pinning it down. It's been raining every day in the UK. Come away on holiday. And this is what we get, rain once again. The one good thing though about coming to Switzerland is the speed limits have changed quite a bit in our favour, so we've gone from like 50km/h speed limits to these highways where you can go like 110 plus, which is absolutely amazing. Fingers crossed the weather will change because we've got a lot of plans to explore the area.
Except the weather got worse as we pressed on through the Swiss mountain passes. But eventually, a couple hours later, the weather improved.
Well, the rain finally stopped, the clouds have cleared, and check this view out. This is absolutely incredible.
Welcome to Flums, nestled in the Rhine Valley and surrounded by the scenic Swiss Alps. A small town with a population of around 5,000 residents. A place that has been mentioned in historical records as early as 765 AD. We picked this area to stay due to the close proximity to Liechtenstein, where you can be at the border with Liechtenstein within 20 minutes by car. What we didn't count on though was how stunning and picturesque the area is.
Hello Ella, first impressions of Switzerland.
It's warm here.
It is warm.
Yeah, it's warm here.
But remember, you've got a big thick jacket on.
But it is warm here. Hold on, how warm is here? Right now we have 6 degrees. It cannot be right.
No, it's definitely not 6 degrees. It's a lot warmer than that. Feels like a hot summer's day.
Our Airbnb was situated a short drive up the mountain from Flums.
So we've arrived at the accommodation in the middle of nowhere in Switzerland, and I'm going to show you what a studio apartment gets you. It's a nice doorknob, isn't it? So you've got the immediate television, bathroom through there, a couple of seats to enjoy the TV. That's your view of the mountains through there. Don't know if you can see. I'll show you a better look in a minute. And then you have an amazing bed, double bed, a couple of buffets. You've got a dining table there, and then a kitchen as well. Also an old-fashioned heater. And lastly, we'll quickly show you the bathroom. Follow me. So we've got toilet and shower and sink. Pretty basic. And then round the corner, somewhere where you can store your stuff.
As promised, this is the amazing view that you have outside of the apartment.
We checked into this Airbnb quite late in the day, probably about 7:30, 8:15, and then we had a little explore around the village before sunset. So obviously by the time it started to get dark, we had a look and most of the restaurants are closed. But also with it being Switzerland, we came with a budget in mind as well. We didn't want to go splashing out, like say for instance, we had a look online, there was a restaurant that was open that was selling pizza. and the pizza was going for more than £20, about €25 roughly. So that's a bit steep for a pizza in my opinion. So the way that we've got around that for tonight is when we were in northern Italy, we went to a local supermarket and we sourced some ingredients, and the place where we're staying has a hob, so I've cooked up a few things and this is what we have for tonight. It's a pretty healthy dinner if you don't mind me saying. Scrambled eggs, avocado, tomatoes, green olives and peppers, and of course you've got to have something unhealthy there, so there's a glass of budget cola, 1.5 litres for 75 cents. There's one more feature that I forgot to tell you about this bathroom. Now you probably don't want to see my feet, but the floor is super warm because there's a monitor on the wall where if you turn it, it turns the heating on the floor. Heated flooring, how cool is that? It's a new day today, had a super comfortable night. Bed was super comfortable, what do you think?
Yeah, it was first class sleep. Like,
yeah.
We needed. We
definitely needed it. We had a lack of sleep definitely in the last couple of days. But with this new day, we need our energy, so we are cooking up the breakfast. Well, Ella is. And this is what we have. So we've got scrambled eggs, and then a couple of sandwiches, ham, cheese, avocado and tomato, and then some yogurt and grapes as well. And then we're going to hit the road. This is outside the apartment that we've been staying in. We are right next to the main road. As I pan around, you can see, but to be honest, the main road is very quiet. Lovely houses behind me, and also the mountainscape behind as well. So beautiful and peaceful. And then the car that we have been using to travel around Italy, Switzerland, and hopefully very soon Liechtenstein. It does the job, I suppose, but it's not the most powerful of cars, so if you are driving around the hills of Switzerland, I probably would advise to maybe get a car that's a bit more powerful.
There were signposts for walks in the local area, but one of the few problems that we had on this trip was a lack of time. I'll touch on the other issues later in the video.
You know, to be honest, we're at the top of this mountain range. Houses around us, just so beautiful. We don't really need to go anywhere else to do much else, you know. So you might think that it's actually cold this time of the year, but right now we are actually in the middle of a quite warm spring day, I would say. Now we are approaching this small little village. You can see the houses dotted around, and in the background the beautiful mountains with snow on the top. What a place to live this must be. You wake up in the morning, open your front door, open your curtains, and the view that greets you must be incredible. Wonder what it's like in the winter when the snow really hits. Will you be secluded? Will you be isolated? Will you be cut off?
I think now's as good a time as any to send the drone up. This was around the time that we went to Liechtenstein, so if you're really interested in going to Liechtenstein, check this video out. But be sure to stay for the rest of the adventure in Switzerland first.
Hello, it's a new day. It's cloudy, it's cold. The weather's very changeable in Switzerland. One day you've got your shorts on, your t-shirt. Another day you need your jumper and your coat and your hat on.
The plan is straightforward for this morning. Head into town to top up our supplies, then explore the nearby area.
Got turf wars here, Lidl, Aldi across the road, and spectacular mountain range behind.
We have parked the car up and we are going to go on our first Swiss hike.
We have one last piece of business on the agenda while we are in and around Flums. We noticed that above the supermarkets and the petrol stations there was a little hill with a church on the top, so we are heading up towards there right now. And I've noticed while we are in Switzerland, it doesn't take very long at all until you're in nature, out in the countryside. We noticed the waterfall in the distance, so we are heading towards the waterfall first, then we will come back for the church. But on the way to this waterfall, we've just seen this spectacular tree.
As we walked on, the view of the valley down below opened up, and what a view it was.
As we are walking up this hill, I'm going to pan round and show you the hill that we were staying on. So you can see it straight away. All the houses on the mountain, the cars looking like little dots moving about. that is where we spent the last couple of nights. And as you can see from here, obviously it's a great view from where we were. And straight ahead in the distance in the valley, that is the town of Flums. We have made it. What do you think of this waterfall? So as you can see behind me, we've made it to Berschnefall. Berschnefall. What a beautiful waterfall this is. Just a slight thing, there's only like a small viewing platform to view it from, so you can't really get right up and close to it, but even still standing from here, it's very beautiful. That was Berschnefall. Now we are off to see the church.
As we left the thundering Berschnerfall behind, the trail wound through the lush forest and offered breathtaking views as the trees cleared.
My God, that was a steep hill to get up here. You've got a sign for it, and it feels like it's just around the corner, but then you have to go around this winding hill, one way, up the next, up the next. 5 or 6 later, we've made it to the top. Here we are.
There's the chapel, probably built towards the end of the first millennium, making it the oldest chapel in eastern Switzerland. Ella's just arriving now.
It's locked. The chapel behind me, St. George's. It is in a very prime location, overlooking the valley and the town of Flums. Spectacular views can be had. It's quite the walk to get up here. So we have been to the waterfall and made it up to the top of the hill to the chapel. What were your thoughts?
Nice hike. Not very good shoes, but that's on us. But the view is really, really cool.
And the animals?
Stinky, but cute.
Yeah, so sheep, goats on the hillside. All got bells on, so you can hear them coming from a mile away. But it's nice to have a stroll in the Swiss countryside. While I'm up here, there's something else that came to my attention that I've just remembered. Basically, if you want to drive around Switzerland, you need something called a vignette, which is like a permit, which allows you to drive around all the roads in Switzerland. It's something that we had to research because we kept seeing tolls come up, and they cost about €40. Well, it cost us €40 to get one. This allows us to drive all around Switzerland, and you probably should get one because the police can do spot checks, and if you get caught without one, it's a €200 fine.
We headed back to the car and drove northwest.
Again, we couldn't help ourselves, we've been distracted. We are going to a place now called PAX Monument, I believe. Which took quite the drive to get here, winding through the mountains, very dicey roads. Parked our car about 700 metres from the place. It's basically a monument that was created between about 1924 and 1949 by a Swiss artist. Looking at pictures, it looks like a bit like a Roman monument, so we'll get closer and we'll check it out.
Wallenstadt.
The walk to the PAX Monument was fairly straightforward and flat.
You excited to be going to see PAX Monument?
Yeah, are you?
We'll see. It's took quite the effort to get here, so I hope it's worth it. We're that high up that there's actually snow here. It's the beginning of May. Just checking it's not yellow snow. But yeah, look at that. It shows you how high up we are as well. Right, let's get going, let's go to PAX Monument.
Our path leads us past the charming traditional Swiss huts, and we are surrounded by the peaceful, beautiful landscape, with the lush green grass littered with snow. and impressive carvings masterfully crafted by local craftsmen.
We've just about made it, so let's see what it's all about.
The first glimpse.
So there it is, the magnificent PAX Monument. It's basically a peace monument, as I said, built by a Swiss artist called Karl Bickel between the years 1924 and 49. Looking at the PAX Monument, it does have the Roman vibes about it, doesn't it? So that is the left wall of the PAX Monument, and this basically depicts the earthly life. It shows a human couple during its existence and development, showing the love and also procreation. Now if you follow me up the stairs, I will show you the right wall. Now this is the right wall of the PAX Monument, which is devoted to the spiritual life. It shows beings who are awakened, beings who are struggling, but also beings who keep on growing. And then looking straight on, you can see the little pool, and then I don't know who they are. Straight ahead, are they gods? It definitely has the Roman vibes about it. This monument looks like this was this guy's life creation. He's done a good job. So there they are, the two main protagonists.
On either side are scenes of peaceful living in daily life, showcasing family life, work and community interactions.
So that's it for the PAX Monument. Worth a stop definitely, if you're in the area in Switzerland, near Flums. There's the view from the PAX Monument. You can see the lake down below and the mountains in the distance.
I think here's as good a spot as any to send the drone up.
So just to give you an idea of the drive that we took to get to PAX Mall, you can see basically that the road is only really wide enough for one car. So they do have some passing places, but they're quite few and far between. So I'm just praying basically that another car doesn't come up the hill, but to be honest, it's probably going to be harder navigating if you're coming up the hill and another car comes rather than going down. So fingers crossed, we'll make it down here in one piece. Got to tell you as well, coming up this hill is so steep that basically the car was struggling to get up it beyond second gear, which for all of those who drive know that that's not good. But there was a couple of hills that I had to go up where I had to go in first gear, believe it or not. I'm going down this in third gear now. You just got to be careful. But the views around you, 360 degree. There's a street that we're coming down pretty soon. It's actually called Panorama Street, because literally when you're on the street you just need to look left, look right, look forwards, look backwards, and there's a beautiful view to be had anywhere.
This is definitely one of the most scenic drives I've ever been on. Every turn that you take, every hairpin turn, you turn the corner and the view just opens up to the valley down below.
We just stopped the car just for a couple of seconds and I'm going to show you what I can see outside of this window. Look at that, you can see the valley down below. It's just spectacular. Snow-capped mountains on the left. Can't quite see it maybe, but there's a lake obviously on the right. Forest there in the middle. Stunning. This is Switzerland.
Hi. Hello.
When I came to Switzerland, I didn't envisage myself coming here. Yep, the Golden Arches. Here's the acid test. How much is a Big Mac? 7 Swiss francs. It's about €7.
Amazingly, the biggest size that you can get is medium as well.
And then the basic McFlurry, €4.10. Regular cappuccino, basic drink. In one of the cheaper places, €4.90. So how does it feel bringing shame on travellers going to McDonald's for €5 cappuccino?
I hope it will be the best cappuccino in my life.
That is a €5 cappuccino on the dashboard. The person who drank it is too angry to come to the camera right now. because she didn't think it was actually that good. But at least the cappuccino has got a good view.
It's getting a bit random at the moment, but pretty much every country that I'm going through, I seem to be bumping into a Christ the Redeemer statue, so here's one for Switzerland. And there he is, standing proud. It is actually, looks like it's part of a hotel complex, so I'd love to be able to send my drone up, but I'm not too sure it's appropriate at the moment.
The statue was near to the town of Bad Ragaz, a beautiful town we'd love to have visited if we had more time. But alas, we had places to be, and it was time to hit the road again.
I was just calling to see if you're free to run away with me.
Nice.
It's a late arrival here on the outskirts of Lugano. I'm going to show you where we're staying tonight.
We have a nice basic bathroom serving all our needs, with a shower, toilet and sink, and somewhere to put your towels.
And then this is it basically. We've got the bed, table, TV, nice little comfortable couch. And we have a mini kitchen of sorts. Got the hob, the sink. And yep, that's where the fridge is. So some goodies in there. A couple of beers in the top. I've just discovered a nice touch in the bathroom. Check this out.
Imagine you're away on holiday and you forget something. Inside, you've got a variety of toiletries, which is a nice touch. It's just a shame that there's no spare UK to Swiss plug adapter, which we unfortunately forgot. Whatever you do, make sure you don't forget this, because it costs a fortune to find one when you're already in Switzerland.
And I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely shattered now, so I'm going to hit the hay. Good night.